I was just listening to what I thought was a profound Jewish rabbi on the news a few days ago, and he was talking about recognition being the most important factor, the most important motivator really for all humans. Now, I had read reports from Franklin Covey and others to that effect, and I'd studied empirical evidence that convinced me the number of times that the most important thing when it comes to employees, having morale and not being discouraged and so forth, was simply the recognition. It wasn't the pay, it wasn't the benefits or some other thing of monetary value, but the lack of recognition. Now, we hear about this and we think, okay, note to self, tell Bob and Jane how wonderful they are more often. Well, not only is that probably easier said than done, but a lot of managers out there, they're not successful with communicating that, and of course just that verbal recognition has a short half-life. So I've seen probably 50 different reward systems for recognizing employees over the years, and I want to share really the easiest turnkey method for making sure you don't lose morale or worse, a great employee to a lack of recognition. Now, you know obviously that exceptional performance ought to be rewarded, but if you're like me, you've wondered, but what's the best way to do it? Should I do cash bonuses? Yeah, that's what I always used to do. But the evidence suggests that there is a better way. So before I show you the model, though, before I talk about it, I want to put this into proper perspective, proper mindset. Now, this reward system isn't a bribe. It's not a motive, per se. Research from Jim Collins, who wrote that great book, Good to Great, he's demonstrated with some research and some studies that trying to motivate employees is really a waste of time and energy. So instead, we hire self-motivated people. We recognize their achievements. So there's the model, real simple. So first, let's talk about kind of how to implement this. We make sure that we don't have arbitrary benchmarks. Let me give you an example. You can't go back in hindsight and say, hey, those are fantastic numbers, great results, here's a $1,000 bonus. And there's a few reasons for that. First, half of the reward is the anticipation and the sense of accomplishment. So don't cut your investment in half by forfeiting that whole half of it. So be specific, set the goal and the benchmark way ahead of time. Now, you need to give some resources and some training so that they can realistically be able to be able to reach the benchmark. The reward has to be specific. Imagine your employees being like Clark Griswold on Christmas vacation. He plans to build this great pool with his bonus check, and finally the bonus check comes, and I think it's a $50 gift certificate to a restaurant or something absolutely silly. But the point is this: Clark Griswold's performance is going to suffer as a result of that. You probably have a friend that works for some big company, maybe Fortune 500 company or something, and they won a cruise or a trip to Hawaii or something. They had to earn it. They knew what it was before they got their plane tickets, and it wasn't just a cash bonus, right? You probably saw their pictures on Facebook when they were on the beach. Now the spouse and the children love the company as well. So now that we have specific metrics, we've got expectations, we put in the rewards, we simply need to track progress. Now, we have to measure. This is a very important word in the reward system. If you're doing it manually, I would, because it's time consuming, I would probably have it be just a few metrics over a longer period of time. It's a little more difficult to do it manually. We'll tell you a better solution. If you're using your reward software such as Backbone, which to me is the best reward system I've ever seen, you enter the metrics and the rewards points will drop right into the rewards account every time they make progress, every time they meet a goal. You may remember the days the school teacher, there's a fundraiser, the teacher puts a chart, how close the class was getting to reaching their goal. The students visualize the success, they see how close they are to their goal, they get excited, they go home, they break their piggy banks, and they sell more baked goods because they want to reach that goal. We want employees doing the same thing. So, give you some examples, maybe some of the rewards you put in. You might put in 5 or 10 different options with varying points rewards requirements. I love the point system. Think of frequent flyer miles, credit card points. Imagine you have an option, snowmobile trip for 2 at the Sun Valley Cabin. And for 2,000 points, Betty in your office, she has a husband who, he would love to do that. It's tangible, it's real, it's a reward. She feels this immense recognition from her boss for hitting her goal. And her boyfriend gets to share in the victory and, of course, enjoy the trip. Now, not everybody hates their boss, just those who are not very good at rewarding employees. You might have a 4,000 point option where they get a 4-day weekend and a $200 spending spree for a little mini vacation, 4-day vacation. There might be a 500 point option for a paid day off. In our office, we have a 10,000 point option for an 8-day Hawaii vacation. To be funny, we put in there, out of a little levity, 50 points. Got them 90 seconds of uninterrupted eye contact with their superior. And 2 people used it. It made for a lot of fun. Add a little levity and fun in the workplace. But the point is this, recognition is important. You'll do well not only to put an effective reward system in place, but to imagine that each of your employees has a sign hanging from their neck that says, I want to feel appreciated. And I promise it will make you a more effective leader, and it will strengthen the backbone of your business, which is your employees.